Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the all-ship matchmaking because it has been available in the game for about a week now, and so far it's proven itself to work pretty well. But what a lot of people don't know is they've actually implemented all-ship matchmaking for multiple game modes already, they just haven't enabled it so that we can actually queue. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to talk about is all-ship matchmaking is not perfect. There have been several small hiccups, and one of the small hiccups was actually ship 2 was down for several hours. It was actually down for like 2 hours. Nobody could log in, and if you were still logged into ship 2, you could still play the game. However, certain features weren't working properly, and I think the issue was because of all-ship matchmaking. There was something going on that was causing ship 2 to just kind of implode on itself. However, ship 2 being down for 2 hours was not the only issue. There was also the room selection screen issue where you couldn't transfer to a room, or you couldn't even just teleport out of town for certain players. That was also another big problem. So even though all-ship matchmaking worked for 90% of the population, there was still that extra 10% that they needed to kink out all of these issues and just kind of fix them. And so this is why they've only released it for Leciel exploration. But as you guys remembered from the intro, they have actually implemented it into all of the other game modes. I'm going to show you that right now. So when we open up the map over here, and of course, you know, we're going to go into MDFA. MDFA is one of the things that I personally would like all-ship matchmaking. When you go to configure matchmaking settings and start, you can see right here, enable all-ship matchmaking. It's already implemented here. It's already hard-coded in. They just haven't flipped the switch so that we can actually enable all-ship matchmaking. So it's already in the game. I just hope that once they iron out all of the issues and solve all of the current problems that we have, then they'll be able to enable this and have all-ship matchmaking for MDFA. This also applies to Sign of the Planet Breaker when we come over here, or Darkfall Solace. We also have this enabled, which is very, very nice. However, it doesn't end there. Let us go to Trigger Quest over here, and let's say that we want to do a purple battle dia. So Alio Devastators, for example, and we go to configure matchmaking. There is also enable all-ship matchmaking already. So that means we can also run purple triggers with other players on other ships, but we are still waiting for Sega to enable this feature, but it's already hard-coded into the game as well. And this applies to all of the different triggers. Even yellow triggers, surprisingly enough, also has enabled all-ship matchmaking. If you want to run like Mining Rig Defense, Crocodilus, all of the different trigger versions over here, they all have this available right here, enable all-ship matchmaking. So I do believe it is highly likely that once Sega irons out all of these issues, that they will open up all-ship matchmaking for all of these different game modes, including Darkfall's Dalian, since that comes out next week. So I am super excited for Darkfall's Dalian. It actually comes out tomorrow, by the way, right after the maintenance. So once that becomes available, I am going to be farming the living daylights out of that, and hopefully, you know, they open up all-ship matchmaking in like a week or two. That would be super nice. That way we'll be able to play with everyone else from other ships, and queue times will be a little bit shorter. But more importantly, it's just allowing players to play together. Because, you know, on the global community, we are quite a small player base, to be honest with you guys. And so being able to just play with everyone, regardless of what ship you're on, is just really, really nice. And overall, from what we played from Leciel Exploration, I think all-ship matchmaking works really, really well. And another thing that you guys may or may not have noticed is actually your friends list. When you open up your friends list, it even tells you other players that aren't even on your ship. It tells you that they're online, which is incredibly useful. So for example, Fresh Dynamite, he plays on ship 3, but you know, because we have the whole all-ship matchmaking, it just tells me that they're in a PSO2 block, even though they're probably in Leciel Exploration. But nevertheless, this is really nice that it just shows me all of my friends and just tells me where everyone is and if they're online or not, so that I can just reach out to them on Discord or just DM them and be like, yo, you want to play all-ship matchmaking? You want to jump into MDFA, DFS, whatever? I think that is just really, really useful. Now, I think the next step after they've released all-ship matchmaking for all of those game modes, so MDFA, DFS, as well as all the different triggers, is going to be Urgent Quest. When we get all-ship matchmaking for Urgent Quest, that's just going to be even better. Now, they might actually release that first because, you know, urgent quest, that's also going to stress the server a little bit, and they might use that as like the second test before just opening the floodgates for MDFA as well as DFS and all the triggers. So I don't know what order they're going to do it at, but I am pretty hopeful, and I think that this is a great implementation. I was very surprised that we didn't have more issues with all ship matchmaking. Like, they released it on day one, it just worked flawlessly. You could just queue in and it just worked, which was really, really nice. And so hopefully once they get, you know, fixes all the rest of these issues that we currently have, and hopefully no more ships are crashing, and that way we'll all be able to play together, which is really, really nice.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.